Welcome to this week's devotionals, beginning with Exodus chapter 5. Now, the conflict is now going to begin in full between Moses, Israel, Yahweh, and Pharaoh, Egypt, and the Egyptian gods, as we'll see as we go into this week. Moses has asked for permission for the people to go into the wilderness to worship God for 3 days, because if they don't, God's going to kill them. And again, sounds odd that that would be what God would do. And Pharaoh rejects this request on a couple grounds. First, he goes, I don't care about this God. I don't know about this God. I have no concern about the God of the Israelites. It's not his God. He's in the position of power. So why should he listen to the Israelites, a slave nation's God? And also, it's odd that he rejects this because what was the purpose? What was the goal of Pharaoh regarding the Israelites? He wanted to reduce their numbers. And so letting them go would actually not be in his self-interest, not because he's potentially losing his slave labor force, but because if their God's going to kill off the Israelites because they don't go out to worship him, Pharaoh wins. Now, we already know a conflict is going to ensue. So we shouldn't be surprised, and the readers would not have been surprised, that Pharaoh rejects the request. In fact, the conflict is only going to get stronger. Pharaoh makes the workload harder for the people, requiring them to collect the straw for the bricks, as well as making the bricks. This causes the brick quota not to be met, brings harsh consequences. Pharaoh doesn't let up. The Israelites, they see, hey, we're in trouble. They confront Moses and Aaron. They blame them for the situation. You're supposed to rescue us after all, but you've only made things worse. Moses and Aaron go to God. They lay the complaint before God. Basically, God, you promised rescue, but things have only gotten worse. Now, God's response we'll look at tomorrow, but here's the thought for today. I think we often can have the same expectation that the Israelites had. We hear a promise from God, or we receive direction from God about something, and we just expect things will go smoothly. Maybe a little bumpy, but not worse. A good, powerful God, if he's saying go, the road should be smooth. No, it's not. Nowhere does God promise a smooth road to seeing his promise or directions fulfilled in our lives. And as we'll see in Exodus, there are some things God wants to show Israel, God wants to show Egypt, God wants to show the readers through the process of Israel being rescued from slavery to Egypt. And part of that means it wasn't going to be smooth. And so, where are you expecting God to make things easy for you? Maybe there's a lesson in the journey God is wanting to show you that's more important right now than the destination or the outcome. If you're in a hard process right now, if you're waiting for a good gift from God, don't give up. Wait for God's response and listen to, or just jump right ahead to Exodus 6 and look at God's response. But for a devotional, we'll look at that response tomorrow. Until then, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. And today would you know his peace. God bless.